Hey everyone, welcome to SeniorGolfSource.com. Today I'm going to show you how you can change your grip and stop slicing the golf ball. Over the years I've taught many golfers how to improve their swing path to help neutralize their ball flight and stop slicing the ball. But if you are that weekend warrior, or maybe you're the busy dad or grandpa that doesn't have time to practice, I'm going to show you and unlock the secret of how your lead hand can really dictate the control of the club face. All right? And I'll kind of pinpoint things on what to look for if maybe you run into hooking the ball. So let's first talk about the slice. The slice for us right-handed golfers is a golf ball that typically starts maybe down the target line or maybe even slight left of target line, and then it starts to peel off to the right. In some cases more extreme than others. You'll probably see more side spin with the lower lofted clubs as opposed to the higher lofted clubs. So the slicer with the driver might have a huge slice with that, but maybe not so much with the irons. And that's really dictated on the loft of the club. So let's talk about how that lead hand works. So for talking lead hand, if I'm a right-handed golfer with a traditional grip, your lead hand will be your left. So for all you lefties out there, it's going to be just the opposite. So just transpose it that way. What we're going to look at is the orientation and placement of that lead hand. So if we look at the club, and we've got the toe of the club straight up and down, kind of 12 o'clock position here, I want to look at that lead hand. It should be more of a palm down position. So looking down, I can definitely see the logo on the tab of my grip where the Velcro is. I can definitely see two knuckles. I can see my pointer finger knuckle and I can see my middle finger knuckle. That's deemed as a neutral grip. Most golfers that I've encountered, especially the ones that battle the slice, most of them do not have this grip. Most of them do have what would be deemed as a weak grip, okay? And a weak grip with that toe, the clubs pointed up at a 12 o'clock position, is more thumb down the center of the shaft lined up with the club, and the tab of the club, or the tab of the glove, kind of pointing down target line. Looking down, I can't see any of the knuckles on the top part of my hand. All I can see is my big fat thumb here. Now what that does, it limits my ability to close the face. So as I try forcefully to rotate that arm over, notice that there's a limitation and it correlates with the movement of the club head. Now if I go to neutral, where I just showed you, in the same position where I'm, the tab's kind of upward, I've got two knuckles looking down, I've got, with ease, a lot more range of motion to get that club face to rotate. And that just means that I've got better chances of closing up the face at impact. So that position is neutral. This position with the thumb down the center is definitely declared as weak. Weak limits the club face rotation. So if there is a neutral position, two knuckles, weak position, well, the opposite of weak would be strong. So we're just going to increase the rotation in that hand. So it's going to feel very discomforting to most golfers, but this could be the saving grace for you to stop hitting those slices out into the woods and embarrassing yourself off the course. This is a little bit unorthodox as far as instructors would go. Instructors would say, let's fix that path. But let's say that you're a decent ball striker. Let's say that over-the-top path for you works. Maybe you've got some shoulder issues. Well, we can definitely correct the movement of our ball flight with that hand positioning. So let's put it into action here. I'm going to, on purpose, kind of give it a slicer's move. I'm going to swing the club pretty well over the top, and I'm going to do it with a weak grip. So let's see what happens. I've got my 6-iron here, and I'm going to swing over the top with the weak grip. And with that, the golf ball definitely wound up right side of the target. I'm might be somewhere in play, but that's a lot of movement for that ball. All right? Now let's look at it with more of a neutral position. So again, neutral, I can see 2 knuckles. The palm of the grip is going downward. The grip should be more in the fingertips here. So I'm holding the majority of the club with the fingertips of my hand. And I'll go hit this shot. And then if we look at it with that over-the-top move, it definitely got the ball left of target. Now it went a lot longer, and that's something that you'll notice. The ball will go a lot further with this neutral to even strong grip. So now I'm going to go to the area where it feels discomforting. So I'm going to go strong. I can see basically all 4 knuckles of the top part of that left hand. It feels very awkward. You might develop a little bit of soreness in your forearm muscles. So take it easy. Don't go blast 1,000 balls at the range. Small increments, and just pay attention to your body. If you start to feel discomfort, lighten up on it. Get yourself more back to neutral. So let's look at this with the over the top and see what we get. Now with that, the ball just screamed off of the club face, but it screamed off into the opposite end of the planet. It was a huge hook, but the ball did go a great distance. So that weak grip that I had, that ball went up 130 yards. Not very far from me with the 6-iron. That's pretty short. The next shot where I had more of the neutral grip, still over the top swing, went 163. And then that really strong grip where the ball hooked really hard, it went basically 165. So you will gain yardage with this, but you need to make sure, you know, depending your path, if you're a big time over the top swinger, you might need to just only go to a neutral grip. If you're slightly over the top, you might need to just work on strengthening up the grip just a little bit more. But it's going to be a case per case kind of study. Everybody's swing is going to be a little bit different. You might swing a little bit more over the top than your buddies. So it's not one fine position that fixes all. It's going to be you getting out on the range and working on your lead grip hand position to dictate that ball flight. Now, what I would say is start with the irons. If you start hitting the irons and you're like, man, I'm really hitting it consistent and it's always moving to the left, and you see that you have a pattern, let's just adjust our aim, okay? Once you develop a consistent pattern in ball flight, the key point for you weekend warriors, and maybe even avid golfers at this point where you just don't have the time to practice, work on your aim. You know, once you've developed a ball flight that's consistent, it's not slicing anymore, you understand the power that you can get with this, work on your aim, all right? Now, if you go from a big time slicer with the driver to a big time hook with the driver, all you need to do is just work on manipulating the positioning of that lead hand. And that really should be an easy way for you to understand how you can change the ball flight to better your time on the course and lower your scores. So thanks again. We'd love to hear what you have to say. If you give this a try, if it's something you've experimented with before, share your thoughts. We'd love to get involved with our readers, and we appreciate your support. Thank you.